All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. And all right, guys, unfortunately, since I made my last video a couple hours ago, Bitcoin and crypto has continued to fall down. And we are seeing drops below our key golden pocket of support where we wanted to find support. Now, this chart here is the total crypto chart, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, the entire crypto market. And I want to go into this chart because this kind of tells the story of what happened here. And let me go ahead and zoom out first. Let's just go ahead and delete these. I just want to show you we did get rejected from the pitchfork midline, pretty much pitchfork bottom band, pretty much to the dollar. Lost our pitchfork again, bearishly back tested it, rejected, and came lower. So this is not a good sign, but let's go ahead and zoom out on this and let's look at this chart here. So we'll go to the daily chart. All right, this pitchfork here has been a really important pitchfork for a majority of the bull cycle here. You can see I pulled it from our first really big wave of the bull cycle here, and it's been highly respected, bounced from pitchfork bottom band here. We did see a small deviation above it here, came down pretty much to the bottom of it, rode it all through this area here, pumped up to the top of the band and rejected twice at the top band for the all-time highs. And then kind of when we lost this pitchfork midline here, we dropped down to the bottom band, chopped around, and then now we're dropping. On our drop last week, we lost the pitchfork band, but we were able to reclaim it just yesterday on the Trump tweet. And you can see we reclaimed it, came up to that pitchfork band, the lower band of support, and we're rejecting and losing our pitchfork again. So really not looking good for the crypto market. This has kind of been a trend. Yes, we have seen deviations out of this trend before in the markets, like, through here and up on the top here. But overall, this pitchfork band really have been holding up well for a majority of this price action since November 11th here. It's been acting as a support and resistance, and now we are back testing, after losing it, back testing a resistance and dropping. So back tested the resistance here, dropping. We even just recently here, a couple hours ago, lost the pitchfork, back tested that pitchfork to the dollar, and are dropping. So it's not looking good. I mean, we do have this golden pocket just below the lows we made, but even if we make new lows on the total crypto market, that probably means Bitcoin and all coins are going to make some new lows as well. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this here. So this golden pocket is from these lows down here, which would be equal to kind of Bitcoin's 49K lows and the all-time high. So this golden pocket here on the total crypto chart is kind of equivalent to Bitcoin's 72 to 70K golden pocket. If we do the same sort of Fibonacci pull from the lows to the highs of this last big weekly impulse up or daily impulse up, you can see our golden pocket here is coming in. And let me just check something real quick here because I want to make sure 129%. Let me make that more accurate. Yeah, okay, so 120%. Let's see if this is on log scale, because even if it's, yeah, unfortunately, it's not on log scale. So it's actually could be even worse. It could be even worse. That's over 100% move, so we kind of need to turn on the log scale here. And then if we go ahead and do our fixed range volume profile, let's do from here. Actually, yeah, I mean that there, but we want to actually do it from the start of the first impulse here. So yeah, point of control is just a bit higher than that golden pocket of this range here. Or, you could pull this a number of ways. You could technically even pull to here, but this is part of our double 1-2, so I don't like doing that. But you can see that point of control is coming in right around this golden pocket here. And that's between 2.29 trillion and 2.23 trillion. So that means Bitcoin can lose another $500 billion in the market to get down to a real support level. It's not looking too hot, guys. It's a bit concerning. Let's say that. It's a bit concerning. All right, let's zoom back onto the 4 hour, and then we'll go to Bitcoin and check Bitcoin out to see how Bitcoin is doing. go to the Coinbase chart. So yeah, you can see, all right, golden pocket on the 4 hour is trying to hold. We do have that point of control here. We did have the naked daily point of control. Now that naked daily point of control has now been hit. Let's see. Let me make sure it's one of these guys here. I'll look for it. Actually, we can just turn it on. So you can see that naked daily that was right here has now been hit. Let's go to the Bybit chart because that Bybit chart. Okay, Bybit chart is still lower. We still do have a naked daily point of control a bit lower. But at that point, we'd be hitting our 886. This is today, so you're not going to be looking into this here. And of course, we do have that new naked daily point of control. Let me mark this properly. At 93K, which once again, 93K is our value area low back test. All right, so yeah, not looking too hot here on Bitcoin. Monthly pivots. We do have a monthly pivot down here near that naked daily point of control around 79K. You can also see it is that anchored VWAP down there. The anchored VWAP on Coinbase is a bit higher. But look at where our S2 monthly pivot's coming in. Down here at 73K, where we are in our pitchfork band, our lower pitchfork band. So we need to keep that in mind that Bitcoin could drop all the way down to 73K. Like I said in the video earlier, this just didn't look good to me. This pullback here, the back test of our value area low up at 93K. You can see the value area lows up here right next to our naked daily point of control. This is fresh, by the way. This hasn't been hit yet. And so tried to get back into the value area, rejected from the value area, dropping back down. Now, we still haven't hit our 786 yet. And really, the 786 is the last hope. If this 786 doesn't hold, and this is bad that we're front running it again and seeing a little bounce before. But that 786 at 81.8, if that doesn't hold, we're most likely going to come take these lows here. And a lot of the altcoins have already hit their 886s, which means it's a higher probability for the altcoins to come take their lows. So yeah, Bitcoin is not looking too hot right now. We did lose this pitchfork midline. I'm going to delete this now because you can see we did lose our pitchfork midline here. It gave us a small 4-hour bounce, and then we busted through it. But you can see that volume is continuing to push to the downside pretty high, and the bounces that we're seeing, the green bounces that we're seeing, are on pretty low volume today. If we actually go ahead and zoom in onto like an hourly chart, you can see all the spikes are in red. Big impulse imbalance candle, impulse imbalance candle, impulse imbalance candle. Small push to the upside, low volume, small push to the upside, low volume, small push to the upside, low volume. And this might be just another small push to the upside with low volume here. All right, what I am still looking at this as a possible impulse down, but it's a little bit off here. Like we could have this as our wave 1. Now, are we still in the wave 3? That's the problem, because these little pushes up here are not much. And so our wave 3 could bring us down maybe to the 786. Then our wave 4 could bounce us to backtest that pitchfork midline, and maybe wave 5 brings us, to new lows to fill the CME gap at 77K. It's a possibility, guys. It's a possibility right now. We're not seeing much strength on the charts. And like I said, Bitcoin giving back all of its gains from yesterday and more is not a good sign at all. This bearish backtest here and rejection was really key to look at. So yeah, that's about it for Bitcoin. We can go into the Coinalyze real quick and look at our CVD and open interest here. You can see that open interest continues to just drop. So many people are just closing out of positions or getting stopped out. This entire push down today, you can see this entire push down. You can see that it's shorts, but you can see for most of it anyways, our open interest has been declining all day. So what that is, it's a bunch of people that probably longed yesterday or longed from the 79K lows that are now getting stopped out because price is falling unexpectedly. I wouldn't say unexpectedly, but price is falling here. So, yeah, we do have potentials here for bearish CVD divs, but it's on a very big decrease of open interest. So it's not near as strong as bullish absorption. You can see here higher lows so far on our price action. Our CVD is kind of flat through here, but starting to come down here. So lower lows in CVD from this low here down to our new lows. And you can see open interest from this area is declining. In order to see bullish absorption, we want to see our open interest inclining because you really need new positions to be absorbed by the whales in order to see bullish absorption. But we are seeing some bullish CVD divs. It's not near as strong or as tradable as bullish CVD absorption, but we're possibly forming those. If you want to get some hopium for the bears, let's just for the bulls, excuse me, for the bulls. That's all I can say right now. You can see here on the Bitcoin chart on Coinalyze, our pump up yesterday from the Trump tweet was on some really big spikes in volume. But look at our spikes to the downside today. Bigger spike in volume to the downside today on Bybit. Pretty big spike to the downside here, about equal to this spike. It's not what you want to see for bullish momentum to maintain. Okay, let's go into our liquidity heat map. I don't know if I looked at this in the last video, so excuse me if I forgot to look at that. This is just going to be our Model 2 heat map. This thing is bluer than I've seen it in a while. Like there is no look, just people on both sides have been so wrecked in the last 2 days with that quick, unexpected pump from a tweet about $17,000 from the lows. And now the dump today, the reversal of that right back is just wrecked everybody on both sides. And all the liquidity has kind of been taken. All the big liquidity has been taken. Let's go to our Model 3 chart here and let's look at this. All right, yeah, the only, I mean, we do still have some liquidity below us here into like that 786, 81.5, about where that 786 is. And to the upside, we do have a lot of liquidity above. That's probably some of the shorters that were shorting today here, putting their stops above the local highs. We were seeing bearish CVD, so it gave some people an opportunity to short. So we do have some liquidity up here above really 95.3, 95.4. And we have to remember that our big point of control. So let's go on to the Coinbase chart. This area of resistance up here is still a very strong area of resistance. Why is that? Because we have a naked weekly point of control. We have a fresh weekly level. We have a fresh daily level up there. And we have our macro golden, we have our large range point of control from this range here. You can see it's right there. Let me zoom out on this so you could get a look at that. This range that we've been trading in from November 11th till last week, point of controls in that range. Anchored VWAP from the all-time high is in that box. Naked weekly point of control, weekly, daily, anchored VWAP, and it's also our golden pocket pull. If we do our golden pocket from the all-time highs down to our new 79K lows that we created just a couple days ago, here, and we go look at our golden pocket. Golden pocket is there as well. And let's make sure that's not on log. Okay, yeah. Golden pocket's in there. Now I only put it up to the 0.618, but that golden pocket's at the top of that box. So a lot of resistance above us. Unfortunately, rejecting from this value area low here is not a good sign. That does tell me, gives us a higher probability to make new lows and to come down to like the 73.6 area. We do, I mean, 75, 76K is some support. It's the top of the band, and oftentimes the top of the band will bounce on the first try after being away from it for a while. Yeah, and we do not want to lose this band, though. You can see this band is about 72K, where our golden pocket is. But if we drop to the bottom of the pitchfork, that's 65K. That's also a very important level right in there, because let's go ahead and zoom out onto the daily chart and let's do our range pull of this range here, and we'll look at our point of control. Now, oftentimes when you break a range like this to the upside, If you come down and you don't hold the value area high, the real strong level is the point of control. That's where the most volume has been traded. It's running about 67K here. So depending on how long it takes to get down here, that could be in perfect alignment with the bottom of the pitchfork. If it maybe takes a couple weeks to get down to that level, which it could, because I expect us to see at least a decent bounce at 70K, 72 to 70K. Yeah, that's about it for Bitcoin, guys. Low time frame. Yeah, let's zoom in real quick on low time frame and look at this, because there is just not much. I mean, look at, we're even breaking the golden pocket to the downside, back testing that golden pocket now as resistance. And I've talked about this a lot. Anytime you have a real key golden pocket like this, but it breaks through it, you can see that volume candle straight through it. No support at all. We front ran it, and I talked about this in the earlier video. Anytime you front run a golden pocket like this and the SFP, the next time you come down to that level, you're more likely to just bust straight through it rather than actually see it actually work as support, hold as support. So you can see here, busted straight through it, not a reaction at all, because we did front run the SFP and the golden pocket, and pretty bearish. And now even we made a temporary low here. We're back testing that golden pocket. And guys, again, we front run the 786 as well. That is really bearish to break the golden pocket, but not come down to the 786. We front ran that that 786, and we front run this little range value area low, this weakened range that we had here. We have the value area low down near the 786. You can see that that value area low is front run as well, just giving more likelihood that we might make new lows, like below 79K. I'm speculating on this maybe being all of a three wave, even though we're seeing small bounces within it here. This could be just a giant three wave. If we zoom out like onto the 4-hour chart, it looks pretty straight down here, but even our wave 2 is not much of a wave 2 here, our bounce. Let's do 2-hour chart and see how this looks. Yeah, it's tough, because this could be our 2 here. Our 3 could be going all the way now. 4, 5. Ugh. We do have to remember as well, guys, that this low here did front run the filling of the CME gap. That's not a good sign when you don't fill it all the way. We filled it partially. And on the actual, look at, we filled our CME gap from over this weekend. It's been completely filled now. But this was our CME gap from way back here. You can see that CME gap down there. And on some exchanges, it did drop pretty much to 78K, which would be an almost complete fill. But the CME gap is based off CME market. So you should be using the CME chart to see if it fills on the CME chart, not on other exchanges, but on the CME chart. And so, yeah, it's filling. Let's go ahead and zoom out to the daily here, and let's look at the daily market cipher. Yes, I've been talking about this for a while, but all through here, we were making bear divs on the daily and seeing money flow top out here. You can see money flow even topped out on this high here where our preliminary supply was, if we're thinking in terms of a distribution. Since then, our money flow has been steadily draining to the downside, dropping to the downside. We crossed into the red, and look at this, continuing down here. And this is just getting started. Yes, I know our momentum wave is kind of bottomed out here, and we did see a green dot, but look at this. It's even starting to curl over and maybe form another hump here. It just, Bitcoin really needs to find some support locally if it wants to continue to hold and maintain some overall bullish momentum here. Or I do think 70K is coming, 72 to 70K, with small bounces maybe at 73.6 and other places. Okay, let's go. One last thing on Bitcoin. Let's go to this bearish pitchfork pulled from the all-time high. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. Let me get rid of this here. Yeah, so back tested value area low. We tried to break above this band, and look at this here. So tried to break above the band. First time we back tested it, we held it and tried to make new highs, couldn't. Bounced again from the top of the band, dropped to the bottom of the band, bounced from the bottom of the band, but then finally lost it to the downside. Our midline on this didn't give us much support at all, but when we busted through it, we bearishly back tested it and rejected. With this is the anchor VWAP from 49K lows, so we're kind of flirting with this right now. But let's look at the 786, because the 786 should come in right in this area here. Let's do this here. 786. Yeah, it's a bit higher than our pitchfork band, which I actually don't like to see. 886 here is at the bottom of the pitchfork band. So here's the thing. If we do come down to the 886, we might see a bounce from the 886 at 80K. But if we come down to hit this 886, then the probabilities of taking these lows increase dramatically. It doesn't have to happen right away. We could come down here, bounce, maybe see a wave 4 that lasts a few days and brings us all the way up here, and then we drop. 75K, 76K is the bottom of the pitchfork, depending on how quick we get there, how slow we get there. It could drop a little bit lower. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now. 886 will be important support, but if we do reach that and bounce from that, I expect a lower high before ultimately coming to take these lows. Okay, we covered the total market chart. We've covered Bitcoin. Let's go to Total 3 real quick. Same kind of thing with Total 3. Now, Total 3 still has not hit this golden pocket just below us. We did on the flash crash. But let's get rid of this for a second and let's zoom out here. You can see that we rejected from the midline. Total 3 now. That's why up in this area, I was really telling everyone to start thinking about taking profits on alts. And so many of people gave me crap for that, because it's like, oh, it's about to be alt season. You're going to miss out on the biggest gains of your life. But I just, going off technical analysis here, it was a good time to take profit on alts. We just saw a very sharp impulse to the upside, and we were at resistance. Now you can see we were chopping around, bounced from the band here, lost the band, back tested it bearishly, rejected, back tested the top of the band bearishly, rejected. Again, one last rejection from it, dropped all the way pretty much to the bottom band, came back up, chopped around the midline for a bit, rejected here down to the bottom of the band here, and back tested the pitchfork midline, and now we're flipping that to resistance. And altcoins can drop all the way to the bottom of this pitchfork, about $645 billion. And that's another almost, 200 billion, 150 billion away. So if that much money comes out of altcoins, we will see probably new lows on some of these altcoins. Just not looking too hot here. Also, our Market Cipher B here, you can see we do not have bull divs on Market Cipher B. Yes, we did get another green dot at the bottom. Last time we got a green dot at the bottom, we had a week or two of a little push up here. But we had a green dot yesterday, day before yesterday, which did give us this push up here, and now we're just bringing it all back. Look at money flow. Once again, going back to money flow on all of these coins, money flow will kind of give you the bigger picture of what's going on. Money has been draining from the markets where we topped out on money flow, right exactly at the top up here. Money flow was peaking, topping out here, and since then we've been dropping. Maybe crypto is about to see a little mini bear market. I'm not saying a full bear market, but remember in summer of 2021 when Bitcoin kind of dropped a bit and chopped around for 3 months and then came back up to 69K? We might see something similar to that. And I mentioned that last week in the distribution video that we could see something similar to that. I'm keeping it far more in my mind now in the thoughts of my trading than I was even a week ago. Okay, Ethereum. Ethereum's making brand new lows already. And we did reject from the Ethereum level that the resistance I talked about. So let's go to the 2-hour chart. You can see it was this area here. Now I think I removed this level a little bit after. We were looking for the SFP here into the pitchfork midline. And that's pretty much what we got. The SFP of that high, of our range high, into our pitchfork midline, and we rejected. Now, this was a support that I was looking at as a local support level. You can see we did get a small reaction from there, but really, I would consider that a losing trade. So this didn't hold. Lost the band, dropped all the way down, and we're breaking the pitchfork. And look at this time when we broke it with volume to the downside. Taking our lows below our last lows. And this was support as well. I just didn't draw it over. So no support was there at all. Naked weekly point of control has now been hit. It was just busted straight through. No reaction from our naked weekly point of control. The next level for Ethereum is down here between like 1885 and 1817. Let's zoom out on this and look at that. Let's go to the 6-hour chart. Yeah, and that's going to be our golden pocket. Let me actually even zoom out more so we can get more in here. If we do our golden pocket pull from these lows here at, what, $1,500 all the way up to our new highs. Oh, it's 886 is there, but let me actually, we have to turn on, let's go to golden pocket, and let's turn on log scale. Okay, we break in the log, so it must 786 then. Yeah, 786 was there. You can see we're breaking the macro golden pocket. We bounced from it on that flash crash, made a higher low. Now we're breaking the golden pocket on higher time frames. Really not good to see. And let's do this little range in here. Oh, man. Yeah. Honestly, the only really other thing that we're seeing here, so it's the value area high of this smaller accumulation range before this expansion. That's about it there, though. It's not too much. Not too much is there. Oh, and I bet you it was also the golden pocket. Let's do one more golden pocket pull from the bear market lows all the way up to these highs. Yeah, okay, that's why that box was there, or that's this big box here. So we would have the SFP at 1,500 into our macro golden pocket from the bear market lows to our new current cycle highs. If we lose 1,500, I would say Ethereum is officially in a bear market. Ethereum looks like it's been in one giant range, though, since 2021. Let's actually do a range pull of this range here. Yeah, okay. This is $1,500, $1,500 to $1,700, $1,600 is major support. So this box down here, 1588 to 1506. We have our SFP of these lows down here. We have our like 5-year range point of control and our macro golden pocket from the bear market lows up to our cycle highs. If Bitcoin keeps dropping maybe to 64K, I do think this area could come. Now, the next thing we can look at here, let me get rid of some of this stuff on the chart. Let's zoom in onto the 12-hour chart. And if we really want to get bearish, this pitchfork has been really respected well through here. You can see how many rejections it got, how well it's been respected. And if an indicator has been respected in the past, it'll more likely be respected in the future. Now, we're breaking it to the downside, but what we can do to find extinctions on this pitchfork is we can change it to an original, which is super bearish. Okay, that's just too bearish. Unless we nuked all the way to 15K with like, it's too much. So, let's go ahead and reverse that. We can go look at a couple other things, though. I'm going to hide this pitchfork for just a second, and we are going to just look at a couple things here. We're even breaking that. Okay, so remember that very, very important weekly log channel that I've been talking about on Ethereum. Let me see if I can't find that. All right, we'll just do this. Okay, so from the bear market lows to our next lower high, it was this one here, and we'll bring it up to that first high here. You can see that we've been trading on the weekly time frame in the entire bull market in this trend. We broke it to the downside on the flash crash, came up, tried to re-enter it on the weekly, could not. Hide this. Could not re-enter it on the weekly. And now we're seeing a volume candle to the downside here after breaking this and trying to get back in it. Really bearish, really not looking good for Ethereum. And I do think lower targets are coming here on Ethereum. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like this is the thing. Ethereum just had the potential for a very nice double 1, 2 on the weekly. You can see this was our 1, 2, 1, 2, and then our third explosive wave to the upside here. 4. Now this didn't make a new high, so this can't be a 5 unless it's a truncated 5. So let's say that was a truncated 5 there. So 4, 5, 4, and we did make a new high here, 5. Did we finish our weekly double 1, 2 impulse to the downside? And now, the only thing I don't like about that is that truncated 5th wave here. Otherwise, it works. Now, if that was the case, if we finished our double 1, 2 impulse on the weekly to the upside, is this the start of an A wave down? Then we'll see a B wave back up, maybe to test the point of control of this range here, or the value area low of this range. And then ultimately, $1,500. Let's look at this here. Yeah, value area low, I would say, in confluence with that weekly area. Oh, gosh, guys. I mean, it's looking likely right now. You can see that we still have our weekly bear divs playing out on Ethereum. Higher highs in the price action, just barely. It was just an SFP, but it is a higher high. We did take the liquidity. Lower highs in the momentum waves here. Money flow, steady decrease down. Also, this butt cheek, as Jason Casper calls it, momentum wave butt cheek, I love that name, by the way, is starting to blow out. Unless we start to find support and it does something like this and rolls over real quickly, we are about to invalidate our weekly possibility of bull divs on the weekly. Because what if it did, let's say we came down to here like tomorrow and got a strong bounce from this level, the weekly candle might close strong or at semi-strong and start to round this off. And in that case, we would have very slight bull divs on the weekly. Higher highs, I drew that horribly, but you get the point. Higher highs on the momentum waves here, lower lows on the price action, and it would give us a weekly bull div. But right now, it's at risk of being invalidated. Not good. Very, very much so not good. Let's go on to the 2-day chart and look at the 2-day chart. Okay, what we are seeing possible bull divs form on the 2-day chart. This is not so bad. So maybe we do get a good bounce from this box here. You can see here, what am I looking for? Here we go. Lower lows on the price action. So far, already made new lows. Higher lows so far on the momentum waves, but this is still not quite curving over yet, and our money flow is just now crossing into the red. So unless we see a fake out on money flow and it kind of dips back up, Oftentimes that 0 line will act as a support or resistance. Well, right now, it's not. We're starting to actually cross into the red. Let's check the daily. Yeah, and the daily money flow just does not look good here. This momentum wave was starting to curve up. Now it's pushing right back down here. And if we push down a little bit lower, it's going to invalidate our bull divs on the daily. Money flow just doesn't look strong. You know, when I made a video now about 2.5 weeks ago saying the crypto bull market top might be near, I just made that based off of these higher time frame signals. And when I made that video, by the way, Bitcoin was above like 105K. It was like at something like that. It was up there. And we have seen some follow through on these signals starting to play out. These are high time frame signals that we cannot ignore. Okay, so Ethereum is looking pretty bad right now. Unless we can bounce. Oh, this is my ABC. That's not a support. That was just part of the ABC drawing. I mean, like we're losing the lows now and trying to like flip them to resistance in some ways. We are seeing some 1 hour bull divs though. You can see here. Lower lows price action, higher lows momentum waves here with, I hate how that does that. Here we go. Higher lows here on the momentum waves with 2 big BitBoy green dots, as Jason calls them. This could give us a small push up here, but I would really be careful because it doesn't look like, let's zoom out onto like the 8-hour chart. What is over here that we haven't hit yet? We need to look in this area. I mean, there is this daily order block here. You can see green, 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 1 red candle, green, 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 green up here. So this order block in here looks like we're trying to bounce from this order block area. Let's turn on our order block indicator and see if we see that. Let's see, where is it? I need to clean this up. This guy here. Yeah, we're finally hitting that order block. So we're seeing somewhat of a reaction off that order block. I don't like it. I don't like that there's nothing else really there, though. Value area high, the range is lower than that. It is a general, we're in the general area of a big support resistance flip. So let me just, like, you can see this general area here. If I do this here, you can see resistance, 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 flipped it, support, 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 support on the flash crash. And now we are still in this big support resistance flip area here. So there is a possibility it can hold because it's been historically a really good support flip level. But I just don't like what we have there. Okay, and we're at a monthly pivot point. Yeah. But you can see our next one's down in this area. Ooh. And you can see where we rejected our monthly pivot point. Actual pivot point. This is an S1, support 1 pivot point. This is our actual pivot of the month. What would be considered fair price? Our pivot, our main pivot here. and rejected from it. So what does that tell me? If we're rejecting from our like fair price value for the month based off Fibonacci levels, uh, it probably wants to go lower. And actually, we already did go lower. We made new lows already. Just not looking too hot, guys. All right. Other than that, there's not too much to cover. As far as supports, resistances to the upside, say we do bounce from here. I don't think the low is actually going to be in. But if we do bounce from here, let's look at that, the golden pocket there. And then we could do this range pull that we were seeing over the weekend. Yeah, the value area high of this range is near that golden pocket. But once again, now we have to get back in there. We could actually do this bigger range pull from like here to here. Ooh. Ouch. 786 at the value area high. So 2400 area. Let's look to see. Yeah, our weekly's way higher. Daily. All right, we do have that new daily level, but it's above our 786. We'll mark this daily level out, though. Daily level here. Let me turn this off. All right, I'm going to delete this pink channel. I just showed you guys that. The other thing we can look at is this descending channel here. Let's bring it all the way to the flash crash lows. Yeah, actually, this is a very nice channel. Let me go ahead and hide some of these real quick. You can see this channel here. Midline respected, bounced here, dropped to the midline again, bounced to the dollar from the midline top, wicked to the bottom. Of course, that's where I pulled it from. So, and then all through here, we were trying to hold the midline, got a small push up, lost it, you know, came a little bit higher than the midline here, but the bottom of the channel, depending on how quick we get to it, is in our next support box. So I'd say we could make it to the bottom of this channel. Okay. Let me go ahead and bring those back on. All right, that's it for Ethereum. Solana. Man, I had such nice longs on these coins too. All erased pretty much. I mean, I did take some profit. I told you guys I took 2 TPs on both my Link and Solana. And that's why you TP, by the way, guys, because you don't want to round trip this without taking any profits. Okay, let's go zoom in on the 2 hour here. So once again, guys, Solana did hit this area. Let me fix this pitchfork. This pitchfork got a little bit ruined here. Oh, way ruined. Was it from this one? Hold on. Yeah, okay. Oh. All right. Sorry about all that. We did come up to the top of the pitchfork. I was just looking at a couple things. We haven't hit the 886 yet. I'm going to delete this now. That didn't end up holding. That was the support we were at. But you can see we came up and hit the top of the pitchfork, the band. And it was also, I was looking to come into the band a little bit higher to SFP these highs. But I did say this general area in the pitchfork band, the SFP, and our golden pocket area was our resistance area. We came up straight up to that area and we hit the band, rejected hard from the band here. We are even losing the point of control of our big daily range. So if we zoom out here, let's just go to the 12-hour chart. You can see this range here, and this range is going to be pulled from the last part of this impulse. Since then, we've kind of been going sideways here. So if you do that and you take that range pull, you can see our point of control. We busted above it, back tested it. Let me get in here so you can see this better. Busted above it, back tested it, hit up here. Now we are losing that point of control. Lost the point of control, back tested the point of control, confirmed the rejection, and we're dropping. Now we are still hanging on. And I posted about this support earlier. I did have a support box in here. This was, and if you look at yesterday's video, you'll see that. This is the pitchfork midline. Our zero, was it our golden pocket was there? Not golden pocket. 786 was there. And the point of control of this smaller range. This area here. That's, yeah, around the point of control of that smaller range. So that was, oh, sorry, value area low of that smaller range. So that was the support that I was looking for at this pitchfork midline here. And you can see we were starting to hold it. We're trying to bounce from it a little bit, trying to hold it here. But if we lose this, we're probably going to be dumping much lower here. The 886 is just below us, but we do have that naked daily point of control. It's a new one. I marked it out yesterday at our macro value area low of this big daily range that I just showed you. So in that box, that's why this box is here. It's just, there we go. I didn't think we'd get to it that fast. That's why it wasn't pulled over. Okay, and if we lose this value area low, we most likely are coming to this area here. We have the SFP of the lows at 110 of these key lows here at 110, but we probably SFP it a little bit and hit the band, the pitchfork band around 106, and the bottom part of the band is about $100, which is a key psychological level as well for Solana. And if we lose that $100 level, oof, it's not looking good. Now, the other thing we could do, because this was a flat correction here, you can see your B flat took these highs. And so I pulled this pitchfork from the B flat top because it is higher than these highs. But technically, with a pitchfork, you could pull it from the start of the impulse, the end of the impulse too. So let's look at that. Let's pull it from here. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty much the same support here. It's just extended the top part a little bit here. Okay. Once again, guys, let's go back to Market Cipher here. Look at the money flow on the daily. Really bad, coming out really badly. No bull divs, by the way, down here. Invalidated our bull divs. No bull divs. Money flow looks like garbage, complete garbage. This coin just looks like it's going to come lower. It looks like we're going to come to this $110 to $100 area, which I will be looking for swing longs down there. But if Bitcoin really starts dumping, we could come all the way back down to like $83. Weekly time frame. Bear divs. Real good bear divs here. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. 3 drives, 1, 2, 3 humps here. Even a 4th hump, actually. This high here, we did make new highs here. So 4 drives of bear div on the weekly. Money flow topped out, decreasing money flow here. Our momentum wave to the downside on the weekly is not even really getting started yet. But we are about to invalidate our, not quite yet. Let's see, from this low here. No, we're not going to say that's invalidated yet. And then our monthly time frame. Bear divs. Higher highs here. Lower highs here. Just barely, but they are lower. Oh, it's about equal on Solana. Exactly equal, it looks like. Okay, so, but it still doesn't look good. Still doesn't look good. Here's what we see with Solana on the monthly. Let me hide this pitchfork for a second. This looks like a very clear 5-wave impulse to the upside on the monthly. Let's go to the weekly, actually, and look at it like equal to Bitcoin's weekly chart. So you can see wave 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-wave impulse completed on the weekly, just like Bitcoin's. Now, it's not as nice as Bitcoin's, but that's pretty much a 5-wave impulse. Or you could even call this a double 1-2. In that case, you would say this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Either way, whether you look at it as a double 1-2 or just a 5-wave impulse, they've both been completed and now dumpage. And in that case, ABC correction down to the 0.5. Let's look at this. From high to low. Now, of course, we're going to turn that on log scale. $50. I know it sounds impractical right now, but if we are to go in a bear market, I would be looking for the lows of that market around $50. $50 also. Look at this key support resistance flip here. Let's just go ahead and mark this out right in this area here. Let's not include that wick, but let's just go to like these candle bodies here. Let's turn on as an SR level. SR means support resistance flip. Highs here, rejection. Highs here, resistance, resistance. We haven't back tested since we broke it on the monthly chart, on the weekly chart, excuse me. So $50 is where I'd be looking for spot buys like crazy on Solana. But is there a possibility it gets down there? Now, if this is the case, I know I'm talking really bearish right now, but we are just mapping out scenarios in case the worst case happens. I'm not saying I want this to happen, or well, I definitely don't want it to happen because I hold spot Solana. But also, I'm not saying it has to happen. I'm saying we need to map it out just in case it happens. We know what to expect. This could be just our A wave down. Maybe our A wave takes those $100 lows, $110 lows. We come back up to bounce at like the reject from the point of control of this upper range here. And then our C wave brings us down to 50. Is that a possibility? Let's do this. Let's look at this here. Actually, that's, we have to pull it from this range high. Oof. Or maybe we even come up to the value area high up here. It's a possibility, guys. But right now, as far as locally goes, I would say the only thing we're going to really be watching is this value area low down here with our naked daily point of control about $128, 127.8. I would watch for, though, a wick to SFP this along with it, because we could wick these lows just like Ethereum has already taken its lows. Solana hasn't yet. We could come down here, wick these lows, hold this value area low, and then see the pump. So I would just be careful about longing 128 without coming and SFPing this first at 125. And if this busts through this time and we back test it and reject, that's just going to confirm at least $110, if not much lower, because this is our big daily range value area low. So if we do something like this, lose it, see a bounce, back test it, bearishly back test, confirm rejection, we're probably coming down to that pitchfork band down there, which I hid. Okay, that's it for Ethereum, not Ethereum, Solana. We are at support right now, so this could hold. If this doesn't hold, we're definitely coming down to 128. Now for bounce to the upside, let's do this. Ooh. Okay, we do have that golden pocket there, and let's look at naked daily points of control. Okay, yeah, that's it right there. Naked daily point of control at our golden pocket, 161. This is our area, our definite area. Let me get right on with this. $161 to like 163. This area would be the area I'd be looking for a rejection. Even if we bounce from where we're at now, lower high, then come down. Okay, that is it for Solana XRP here. Almost to our box. We're not quite there yet. Yeah, of course, our local levels just got busted through so quickly. We had the bullish backtest to this value area high with our anchored VWAP. Now, I did mark this out, but I did say I wouldn't really like this area, and we didn't get anything. Actually, we lost it, bearishly backtested, and continued falling. So nothing there. And then, of course, our 382 weekly here. We did see a small bounce, but nothing much. That broke. Weekly, I'm going to delete that. Lost our point of control. We are at, see this dotted line here? That is once again the big, and I did say that this would be the nice area, but I did, I put it in this box. If you see this box should be labeled with channel midline. Yeah, because I was expecting us to take a little bit longer to get down to this midline. And if it did take a little bit longer, we would be in confluence with our value area low and our golden pocket. But we just dumped so fast that it hit the midline before we could get our value area low confluence. So we are hitting that midline of this big descending channel here in pink. You can see it in pink there. So this box is still very important support. We have our value area low. We do have a naked daily point of control, a naked weekly point of control, a daily level, the channel midline, and the 786 all in this area here. Now, we have not come down to actually hit this support yet. You can see we front ran it. So I do think it's a possibility we could come down here, and I would be looking at like this, you know, towards the lower end of the box now. Now that we front ran the upper end of the box, I'd be looking around like 214.5 area. And if that doesn't hold, then XRP is going to keep dumping much lower. We're probably going to come down to like 139. Actually, I'd look at the bottom of the channel first, about 166 area, 165, 166. And then if that doesn't hold, 140. To the upside. Now, presuming the low is in, we're doing a golden pocket pull here now. And you can see, look at this. Value area high, anchored VWAP. Let me get rid of this anchored VWAP now. We've been cutting through it too much. Value area high, anchored VWAP, golden pocket at 270 to 273. So let's mark this out. Here. GP. Yeah, and then if we break that, we still have this weekly value area low, 786, naked daily point of control, naked weekly point of control, and the top of the channel. That's pretty much it for XRP, guys. I wouldn't be looking for anything in between these. It's just too volatile right now, and the only other thing, this point of control, you can see just like with Solana, lost it to the downside in a volume candle, bearishly backtested it, and rejected lower. So the point of control is still a strong range. I bet you that's where our 382 is around. Let's look at this. Let's go to our strong trend. No, it's a little bit higher than that even. Okay, so I wouldn't be looking to trade that point of control there. I just wouldn't. There's nothing there for me. If you want to do that, that's all good for you. Like maybe if you reclaim it and you want to look to long that, it's too risky for me. Okay, Link here. Link is hitting our golden pocket again. So I did talk about this 13.5 golden pocket as being one of the ultimate support levels. We did try to get back into our daily descending channel, our bigger descending channel on the daily chart here, this bigger descending channel. And let me get rid of this. Yeah, and so we are losing the channel again, coming down. Now that we have not, I don't expect this to hold. I expect to at least come to 12.9. Right here, even a little bit lower. Like we can wick to 12.5 and then actually close the daily within this golden pocket. Because you got to remember, this golden pocket's a high time frame golden pocket. And this golden pocket, by the way, is our bear market low golden pocket to our cycle highs. If we lose this golden pocket here, if we lose that golden pocket there, Link is in serious trouble. I would say we would be coming down to this $10 area, which has been a significant support resistance area, or just a significant area. So let's go ahead and do this. That's actually where I bought in this bear market at $10. It was like 9.87 or something like that. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much in confluence with that 786. Wow. Let's just hope we don't lose. I shouldn't be saying that. That's horrible. As a trader, you don't say that. Yeah, I bought around this area when we backtested right in here. Backtested the break of this accumulation range. You can see this here. Let me start deleting some of the smaller stuff. You can see this here was a very, very clear 2-year accumulation down here. Expansion, correction, accumulation, expansion. Now, dumpage. Do we usually come back? So, and that's not our bear market low. That's not our bear market lows, excuse me. Our lows from the cycle, our lows from this 2024. So we can actually look at a couple other things here. Weekly chart. Now, this is what's very concerning here about Link. Let me go to a different Link chart just for a second. Okay, it doesn't have as much history, but this will work. This was that 2-year accumulation range on Link. You can see clear accumulation at the bottom here, but sellers exhausted, whales accumulating for the expansion. But look at this. As far as Elliott wave theory goes, what do we look for in Elliott waves? Well, we look for 5-wave impulses. Now, in a 5-wave impulse, in an impulse, you see 5 waves, but in a 3-wave bigger time frame correction. So like say you have an A, B, C correction to the upside, right? Your A wave is going to be an impulse with 5 waves within it. Your B wave is going to be a 3-wave correction within the corrective part of the B wave. And then your C wave should be a 5-wave impulse to the upside. So 5, 3, 5, right? Well, look at this. Let me just look at this ABC correction here. Possible. A here. B here, C here, 3-wave correction. Unless, no, I mean, your C wave, if this was a 5-wave impulse, you would want this to be bigger than A, and it's not. Within our A wave, look for the 5-wave impulse. 1, very clear, 1 and 2. Very clear, 3. You could say this is the 3, that was the flat of the 3. Here's the 4. Here's the 5. Very clear 5-wave impulse within there. Now we look for a 3-wave correction here. Well, I can see A, B, C here. This is not, I mean, you could even call this a double zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't work so well, but that's clearly a corrective structure here. Now, in our last C wave, 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe is it a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3? We can't have that. That won't work. One, two, three. Geez, it didn't even finish. Unless this. Wow. I mean, it could be a quick impulse on the daily here. That's the trouble with this. Okay. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 here, 4, 5. 4, 5 with a truncated fifth. I mean, that's the only thing I can look at here. So you have it here. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 comes up here. 4 down to this area. 5 up there. 4 here. 5 with a truncated fifth, which means your 5 is not taking the next the prior 5 highs. Truncated 5, and then now we're dumping. That's the only thing I can see within this bigger C wave here. If it was the 535 of bigger ABC correction, you would have to ask, because I'm not the greatest at Elliott waves yet. I'm decent at them, but I'm not like Kuhn's trading. Who's that guy's just a complete absolute genius with those. Actually, right now he's at Elliott International meeting with the CEO of Elliott International and working on some really interesting stuff. But that guy. I learned a lot of my stuff from him, and so we'd have to ask him about this here, but it's possible. Let's just say that it's possible. Okay, that is so link 12.9. Let's go back to this other link chart here. I'd say 12.9 is the next level I'm interested in, between 12.9 and 12.5, where this low is. And then if that doesn't work, we're probably going to come much lower. I forgot to check that. Let's do this. And let's just do our golden pocket pull from the lows to the highs here. Golden pocket. $10. Yeah. I mean, $10 has been a significant support resistance flip. Look at this $10. So let me get rid of this one for a second so you can see that. And let me get rid of this for just a second. So from the bear market lows to our new highs of this cycle, not our all-time highs, but our new highs of this cycle, which this also makes sense here being an ABC correction because you saw the huge blow off top here, some accumulation and ABC correction, and now are we going to come back down to reaccumulate? It makes sense to come back down to $10 where we have our prior accumulation range highs. You can see our prior highs of this accumulation range are right at 950 within our golden pocket, and we also bounce there here. So we would take the liquidity of this big impulse up, this last huge impulse. Now, I've talked about this a few times on my channel. Anytime you see a huge impulse like that, that low right before that impulse, that's a lot of liquidity resting there because a lot of people longed through this here or caught the start of the impulse, and especially if you're an Elliottician. So that there, $10, I would say, is my ultimate level to look for spots. Now, I already told you I bought some at 15 and I bought some at 13.5 spot. I am comfortable writing that down to $13 or $10. I'm comfortable writing it down to $10 and being underwater, even up to 50% on that, to accumulate more of it, to write it for the next cycle, even if I have to write it for the next cycle. So I'm looking at long-term investments there. And by the way, I didn't buy a whole lot of it at 15. I did buy a decent amount, but not a whole lot of it. And then at 13.5, well, it was decent. So anyways, yeah, 12.5 to 12.9 is the next level I'm looking. And then if we break that, we're probably coming down to 10. $9.92, $10. To the upside, we do still at the 1770 to 1795s. We have that naked weekly point of control in confluence with the daily up there. And I'm absolutely sure we're going to have some new naked daily points of control. So let's actually zoom in on the daily here. So, and you can see we front ran that resistance too. So we kind of have an SFP of these highs into that resistance and our channel midlines up there. But let's do this. Okay. $16 here. This is the one that we created today on the dump, and it confirmed at the candle close. So this is a new naked daily point of control at 16.25. Okay, let's go zoom in on the 2-hour chart. And let's look at this dump. I bet you that's where the golden pocket is going to be as well. So from the highs here to the lows. Okay, a little bit higher than the golden pocket, but let's look at our 786. Okay, not much confluence in there, to be honest. We could do this here. Nope, nothing there too. We're at the value area low of this smaller range though here. And the bigger golden pocket. Remember, the golden pocket did start pretty much where we're bouncing from here. Double bottom lows maybe. Hopefully, if you want to be bullish, you would say this is a double bottom and we go back up. Okay, yeah, we did take that liquidity. Other than that, guys, I mean, not much else. Not much else to look at. The golden pocket is near our naked daily point of control. I don't like how it's below the naked daily point of control because that means we have to break the golden pocket to get to it. But we could see a wick up past that 0.65 to touch the naked daily and then close the hourly within this golden pocket. That's when I would look for the trade. Because we could just bust straight through it too. So that is the only level I'd be looking to kind of short up here or looking for a lower high to come in. If this is just going to continue to make lower lows and lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, all the way down to $10 or $12. All right, that's it. Okay, guys, I got to get going. It's been like a 2-hour-long video. Thank you all. I will look at some more altcoins tomorrow. I didn't even get a chance to really look at the comments too much today for altcoins. But appreciate y'all. If you got anything out of this video, please like, please subscribe. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for showing support. So I do appreciate that. By the way, we hit 2,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So I just want to say thank you so much all for your support. I really appreciate that. And let's just keep growing. Let's keep trying to master these markets together. And remember, risk management is the most key thing in trading. You can mark out every level perfect, but if you do not know how to trade with risk management, you will ultimately long-term get wrecked. And I want to talk about that because today was a rough day. I even got stopped out a few times today. Today was a losing day for me. I lost more than I won today. So you will have days like that. And not every day is a winning day, especially when we have volatile moves like this that are kind of unexpected in some ways. So just remember, risk management is key to long-term success. All right. Have a good night.